Channel, the Car Guy Channel. My name is Mike Hennessy. This show is all about cars and all four car guys. Get yourself a cold beer. Get yourself a cold beer, guys, because our show is... We are smoking! I'm Mike Hennessy, and you're watching the Car Guy Channel. I have an auto repair shop. I've been in the business for over 30 years. You name it, we got it, we built it, we've done it, we do it. We love this car stuff, and I hope you guys do too. We're going to have a lot of fun, got a lot of stuff cooking, so just stay tuned.
A little is scoop, you don't know what I got. A little is scoop, you don't know what I got. Well, I'm not bragging, babe, so don't put me down, 'cause I've got the fastest set of wheels in town.
Welcome to the Car Guy Channel. We got a fantastic show. We're covering the Mountain View a la carte and art show. We got cars from high ones, fast ones, slow ones, expensive ones. We got cool stuff all day long. And to see some of the cars we had kind of last year, some of the people come and pick up, and we got some newbies coming to the show this year too. Got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys. So I want you to do two things. Don't touch that dial. Don't touch any of these cars. Check them out.
You do 140 in the top end floor. She's my little scoop. You don't know what I got. She's got a...
I'm going to tell you guys, this is not Mom and Dad's old station wagon, is it?
Nope.
How you doing, Mike?
All right, Jeff Peterson.
Hey, Jeff,
Nice to meet
thanks
you.
for coming on the show. Nice to meet you. Hey, tell me a little bit about the 70 monster wagon you got.
Okay, I picked it up in 1999. It's a 16-year restoration. I went through the whole car, motor, tranny, rear end, paint, everything, except the interior I left original because it was in pretty good shape.
Wagons are good investments.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can buy them right?
Right, right. I only paid $900 for it back in 96, 99.
Now, that's a hell of an
Yeah.
investment, I'll tell you
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. That's pretty
right.
good stuff. So you can put the V8 in, and this thing sounded like a pretty nasty little motor.
Yeah, it's got gear drive. It's got a steel crank. It's got Vortec heads, 4-barrel. It's a driver.
One thing that I noticed, this car has black interior.
Yeah, that's pretty rare for a wagon to have black interior because most of the wagons, they had color matched, same color as the cars.
Now, on the, I'm not a wagon expert. I have a few in my collection, but this is a Greenbrier, correct?
Right, yeah, there weren't too many Greenbriers out there because it was a stripped model. It didn't come with a roof rack, nothing. Just your base wagon.
That was Ward Cleaver on a cheap day, went for the Greenbrier. I always pick a car at these events that happen to be one of my favorites, and it happens to be this Olds 442. How you doing there, bud?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Good to see you. Thank you for bringing this hearse car.
You're welcome.
Now, do you know what Olds 442 stands for?
4-barrel, 400, and dual exhaust.
Ah, you're good. You're good. How many were made?
624.
How many coupes?
222 with the sunroof. 110 were convertibles, and the balance were just the hard tops. I can't do the math fast enough. So.
That's pretty good. This is the Car Guy Channel. Trust me, no one on the show really does a lot of hard math at all. And I noticed you have some parts in this car. You have a lot of the real deal stuff. I was mostly impressed really with the air cleaner.
Yes, it's the original flapper air cleaner that goes with the hood for the Ram Air.
Sure, exactly. Now that's a huge deal. And you got the right hood pins. Now, was this car true and correct?
This car was absolutely true and correct. It was a one-owner car. The guy actually bought it from Marydale Oldsmobile right here in San Jose.
Now, how much of this car is really original and how much is restored?
This car is pretty much a survivor. It's everything you see in it is original. It's getting to the point now where I am going to have to start replacing some things.
Well, I have a statement. I say it on the show all the time. A car is only original once.
That's right.
And the longer you can keep this car here with the patina and the way this car is, I'm going to encourage you. And we'll get cards and letters. Guys, let them know. We kind of encourage you to go that avenue if you can. Keep it, because it looks like you keep the car garage capped, well taken care of, and all that stuff.
Absolutely garaged. Only driven to car shows.
Now, big question. How long have you had this car?
I've had this car for about a year and a half.
Now, a year and a half. You're a newbie.
Yes.
What drew you to the Olds hearse car? Was it, now you could have gotten Olds 442, you could have went to a different lead, you could have street rodded. What went for the hearse cars? Is it the white and gold?
The white and gold and the rareness of the car, and you just don't see that many of them anymore.
Oh, and they're difficult to restore because, again, how many people, when there's only 200-something of the breed built, especially in the sunroof, that's the part that attracted me on your car was the sunroof.
Oh, sunroof, yes.
Oh, I think it's cool. Hey, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Olds 442 had a lot of interesting tidbits about them, but one thing I really really like. There's a lot of neat little classy touches, and that's the detail. When you get detail to a car, people have done it to a lot of Pontiacs and other makes and models of cars, and you can go ahead and do this on your own street rod or whatnot to give it the 442 effect. But on the back of the bumpers, they actually cut the bumpers, kind of a little bit of a half moon, that the rear tail exhaust kind of comes up into the bottom of it. I think it's fantastic. It's kind of one of the rarest cars here today at the show, and I was pretty impressed with an Olds 442, especially a hearse model, being white with the gold stripes. You just don't see them every day, and you know how that is on the Car Guy channel. You get something rare, you don't see it every day, we got to show it to you.
Went to a dance, looking for romance. So I bought a rent, so I thought I'd take a chance. Bought a rent, ba 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 rent, ba 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 rent.
There's another Oldsmobile that caught my eye, and I'm Mike Hennessy. How you doing?
Hi, I'm Victor.
Hey, Vic, how are you?
Good.
I got to tell you, this car here just seemed to pop, and I think it's because of what you have done to this car.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the add-ons you did.
Well, it's a 64 F85. It's pretty much the original car, but I put some different wheels on it, different colors in the interior. Just pretty much, you know, kind of modernize it a little bit. But
Modernize it, street rod it.
Kept it the same, you know, shape and style.
I thought the car looked functional, drivable, and you can have fun going to these shows.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to tell you, that's kind of why I picked your car as one of the cars to drive to one of these events. You got your family here today, and that's kind of pretty neat, Vic. I like that an awful lot.
I like it a lot.
Then you got the model under the hood. I mean, you're ready. You're dialed in.
Little surfer, little one, made my heart come all undone. To you.
What's a car show without cars of the 20s? How you doing, Mike Hennessy?
Hey, Bill Bart, sir.
Hey, Bill, how you doing? Who's this gorgeous lady?
Diane.
Hi, Diane. How are you? You looked the part today.
Perfect.
You looked at the hat on. You got your tent set up. You're all dressed right. That's pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
Now, you get out and enjoy this car, don't you?
Absolutely, that's our pleasure.
Well, now, tell me a little bit about your car.
Well, it's a 24 Chrysler. It's the first year Chrysler made a car. It's number 8966 out of some 40,000 that they built. And it was the first year that they made a 6-cylinder. It's the first year that they had 4-wheel hydraulic brakes. And believe it or not, that was a luxury vehicle. It sold for $1,535.
Guys, that's $1,500. Not $15,000. But
This is one of 12 cars that made Chrysler famous. The first one was a 14 Dodge, but Chrysler and Dodge didn't merge until late into the 20s. And so the 24 Chrysler was the car that actually made Chrysler.
well, they juiced the brakes because they put a 6-cylinder and they boosted the horsepower. Right. Now, what is the horsepower?
Well, it's 135.
135. Now, back then, that's a lot of horsepower for back then, isn't it?
Well, believe it or not, this is a model B70, and it's a B70 because he said it would go 70 miles an hour. If you can imagine that in 24.
70 miles an hour with wooden spoke wheels. Yeah. Right. He hasn't done that, has he?
Not exactly. About 40 miles an hour on 280.
I would think so. Hey, well, thanks for having the car on the show.
Right,
and thank you for coming and enjoying this today.
Thank you.
We got to go around this and check this out. I really like the vintage stuff. I have a few vintage cars in my collection, and I'm going to be moving and trading off some of my cars, get some different breeds and makes and models. But having cars in the 20s, I feel if you're a car collector, I like to keep a couple of them, and I got 60 cars, and moving them around and keeping these here are really kind of cool.
You can have one more for 40 grand.
He says I can have one car for 40 grand, and I got a 55 Chevy you can have for 50. We got a deal. I got a deal here today. That's how you sell them. That's how you sell them.
Come and let's stroll across the floor.
I don't really need to introduce this guy. This is my good buddy. I've known Bobby for over 30 years. And Bob owns Mountain View Interiors. And all the cars we have on the Car Guy channel, I wouldn't say almost, every car that's been on the show that's been owned by myself and customers, Bob does all the interior for the cars. It's finally good to have you down the show. Good to see you, Bobby.
Thank you, Mike. Good to see you.
Good to see you. The thing that's mostly rare about having Bob on the show is that he doesn't have a beer in his hand. And so now that's really why I'm having it. What's the problem?
My wife has it.
Well, that's a really pretty good deal. I've known it for so long. I mean, the way we've done business for years, we send a bill back and forth. So Bob calls me about this truck. Now, what year is this?
1957.
1957. You're so excited over this truck when I talked to you on the phone. I had to come down and see it. And I expected to see, because you said it's all done, it's ready to go. You got Mountain View interiors on the door.
And worked hard on the interior.
And you worked hard on the interior. The funny thing is, this is considered done. And he says it's kind of nice taking a car to a car show that doesn't have to wax.
Right, just washed it and we're ready to go.
Wait, you watched bird poop off it?
Watched bird poop off the windows, yes.
So he really stepped up a little bit.
Clean the trash out the back.
But this is the new look. This is the look guys are going for, and this is what you wanted.
That, it has been in my family for 50 years. So it actually was a personal family vehicle.
So as far as painting this, you would never do that.
No, I would never do that.
So that's the kind of the new look. What's that look? What's that? What was that theme they're going for?
This is not a restoration. This is a resurrection.
Resurrection. I thought that was. Oh, okay.
It's bringing junk back to life.
Bringing junk back. Oh, that's. Oh no, not erection. Resurrection.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No Viagra on this one.
I got a little confused here. National Parts Warehouse has merged with Winchester Auto Parts. Yes, they both have merged into a huge warehouse. I can't even tell you how large this place is. Now, you guys have mixed with Speed Warehouse. Is that correct? Tell me how that works.
That's correct. We have a joint venture with Speed Warehouse right now, and they're allowing us to operate our business within their warehouse on a wholesale basis. And this way we get 80,000 square feet of parts from the warehouse to the store, and it's expedited. Our turnaround time on these is less than an hour to get parts from the warehouse to the store. So if you're a retail customer, you get your parts right away. If you're a wholesale customer, it's delivered to your door instantly.
So my customer, a guy at your shop, Mr., people I think be watching this, a guy walks to the counter, Mr. Joe Blow, he orders that part. You guys can get that here in the Bay Area because you are joined up.
Absolutely.
So our end user, like guys like myself, the guy at home, everybody wins and benefits from this, don't they?
Absolutely. This is the new landscape for auto parts now. If people want tangible goods in hand, and this is the way we provide it. This is the service that Winchester puts out for our customer.
Your staff is kind of what makes Winchester Auto Parts work. And I'm not saying that because I buy my parts from you, but I don't know of too many auto parts stores that actually have educated, talented guys who knows what they're doing than Winchester Auto Parts. All your stores do. I bought some guys here. Well, I think the public needs to know, but you guys train your guys. You just don't get a guy that just says, I know how to change oil, and you put him behind the counter.
From car guy to car guy, you hit the nail on the head. Our employees are all car guys. They didn't just come to do a job. They came here because they're car guys, and this is their passion. This is their interest. This is what they do. And when you walk up to the counter at a Winchester store or you call them on the phone, those are professionals answering your questions. And these guys have been doing it for years. They know the answers, and if they don't have the answer, they know how to find that answer for you.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? Lovers await the break of day. Why do they fall in love? Why?
What's a car show without a T-Bird? How you doing, Mike Hennessy?
Larry Monty.
Hey, Larry, how you doing? I see your name on our list all the time. We send out emails and stuff. Now, tell me about the year, make, and model of your car.
Well, it's a 1957 Ford Thunderbird, albeit for a lot of people, the last real Thunderbird ever made.
It is. There's no doubt.
So anyway, I've owned the car since 1999. It came to me from a couple who had joined a Thunderbird club, and it was a great fit for me. I joined the Thunderbird club, and I was looking for a car, and about 1 week later,
they're a fun group of people. I know all those folks. They're a real active and a good group. And well, when you bought this car, did you do any ads? Or you Kelsey Hayes wires? Did you put those on, or is that way it came?
Basically, the car came to me in pretty much of a restorated state, but unfortunately, the car sat for 2 or 3 years. And when I got it, I had to redo almost everything, and so there's not anything on this car that hasn't been done.
So just because that car was restored once, you still got to service it, guys. I had a customer the other day, they had restored it 15 years ago. They didn't think they had to change oil anymore because it was restored.
Well, it's always a work in progress. You're never done.
It's always work in progress.
We love them.
We do.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say Hey, 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 when I die, well, you give me all your loving and your turtle doving, all your hugs and kisses and your money too. Well, you know
This is one of my favorite trucks. I got it, show it to you. How you doing there, bud? Good. Hey, tell everybody your name.
My name's Randy Thompson.
Hey, Randy. Randy and I were talking about the truck, and all of a sudden he had a cup of Starbucks, and I went like this. And we don't really care, do we? There he goes. Hey, your truck has been to a couple of my shows before.
Yes.
And I noticed it looking good, and you kind of redid some stuff. But you told me a little story about what happened to this car down in Reno. Is that right?
Yes. Last year at Hot August Nights, it caught fire. On Saturday, I stopped. They said no good deed goes unpunished. I bought a big bag of Tootsie Pops to give out to the kids in the cruise that night. When I started it up at Walgreens, it died. I thought it was flooded. Hit the floor with the gas pedal, hit the key. Wow. I heard a poof, and black smoke started rolling out from under the hood. I grabbed a halon extinguisher. I left my wife in the truck, and I put the fire out. All the damage was cosmetic.
You told the story, but the neat part about it is your wife's okay, you're okay, the truck, it didn't really damage it, but it just shows that this was a gas fire from what you're telling me, correct?
Correct.
And you were able to put this thing back together, put it behind you, and I'll tell you one thing, you guys, fire extinguishers in a car.
What I did this time, instead of relying on a relay to turn the fan on and off, I've got a 50 amp switch in the console. I'm the 50 amp relay now.
Smart.
I turn the fan on and off. It's not going to overheat like it did up there and cause a fire.
Well, you can rock and you can roll and you can stop and even stroll it at the hop, 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 hop. When the record starts to spin and you chop, so when you chicken at the hop, 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 hop. Do the dance.
Gran Turismo Obligato. GTOs. GTOs are one of my favorite cars. My brother and I, we really worked our rear ends off to pick up one back in the early high school days. Tri-power car, ours was 66, not like an early car like this. But when you see a car well done like this, the correct color, the tri-power, boy, does that bring back memories. That's what a lot of these car shows are all about. This car here, I just had so many favorite cars down here at Mountain View today. It happens to be on my top 10 list, so check this car out. It's great when you get the cars out the show, and it's really kind of neat, and I always impressed when a gal brings a car and it's her car. Introduce yourself.
I'm Roberta Drake.
How you doing, Roberta?
Doing good.
The color of your car, the neat thing is you were sitting down and your husband was polishing the car.
Yeah.
That's how I do it with your car.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Now, what year's your car?
A 1968 GTO.
And you got a his and her shifter, which I think is kind of neat when you have the option, to just put it in drive and go, or if you feel like you had a stop sign and somebody looks at you and you say, I'm not going to put up with this crap, you drop that sucker down into low and you just shift it manually as an automatic, which is kind of cool. Kind of neat. Now, how long have you had it?
Only less than a year. It's 6 months.
And was it your dream car to get? Is that something you kind of wanted?
Yes, actually, I really like the GTOs.
And of course, we're doing an interview here, and I hear that it's your birthday today.
Yep, it is.
20.
Oh God, 47. my year car,
Besides owning the car, is it your year?
Yeah,
of the car.
1968.
68. And it's your birthday.
Yep.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yeah, it's my birthday.
That's pretty cool.
Down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood. Lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good. He never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go, go.
A Mustang happens to be the most successful classic car ever built, ever made, and ever sold. Am I right?
You're absolutely right.
I finally right on the show. We got to call my wife.
You got to be right once in a while.
Hey, Mike Hennessy, how you doing?
Mark C. Okay.
Hey, and your name?
Love the show, Mark C.
Mark C. I don't know, but I just want to make sure the people at home do. Hey, thanks for bringing a gorgeous car here today. Silver just works for me. And when you pull it in, these wheels, and I mentioned it coming in, there's not tuning wheels that really work on these.
Yes.
And this happens to be one of them.
Yep. Those are American racing mags.
American racing mags, old school. It's what we grew up with.
Yep.
Now, how long have you had this car?
I've had it 16 years.
16 years, long time.
Yeah, long time.
Now, is this car here? Is this how much original? How much have you changed around?
It's a retro mod. I mean, it's the body, the interior, all that's original, but the motor, drivetrain, it's all beefed up a little bit.
Oh, I
add a little horsepower.
I heard you coming in. Add horsepower. That's what our show's all about. Give it hell.
That's right.
Give it all she's got. But I see you got the Mallory, you got the Holly, you got the the Cobra air cleaner, Elderbrock stuff, and this right here is when I said probably the most collectible, the most successful car. This car right here is I call it a blue chip. These never go down in value.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They never go down. But these cars right here, to do the restoration, I don't want to say the word easy. They make the part finding easy.
That's right. The building is still a lot of work, but yeah, finding the parts is fantastic.
And I know it's got the running lights in the front, and
got the fog lights. Those are factory.
That's really, really cool.
Well, I love you, darling. Come and go with me. Please don't send me way beyond the sea. I need you, darling. So come go with me.
I gotta tell you, I love trucks. I like big trucks, small trucks, tall trucks, short trucks. This is pretty cool. Mike Hennessy, how you doing?
Hey, Mike, I'm Strider.
Hey, Strider, how are you doing? Hey, now tell me what year this truck is.
1947 Dodge.
1947 Dodge. Now, this thing is still on the road, still using it. You still got the flathead motor, roughly about 90-ish horsepower. Pretty close.
Yep.
And what kind of transmission does this thing have?
This has a 4-speed granny low. Probably get 40, 45 miles an hour.
And non-synchro.
Exactly. Grinding.
This means double clutch. Double clutch. You put it neutral, let the clutch out, rev it up, whatever you want to do, then put the clutch back in. What a job to do that. That's a whole deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I drove it over here today.
You did, but you kind of did this for your business. You have a fountain business. You do decorate or build fountains and design them and all that?
Yes.
And so this is kind of a novelty piece, really. So in the car collecting world, this is kind of, you're bringing it into your business.
It is, but I mean, I love trucks. I can't get enough of old trucks, so.
Well, I think this is cool. The black. Now, did you obviously you bought it like this? Did you do the work like this, or?
Yeah, I bought it like this from a vineyard up in Sonoma. So this was on a 60-acre vineyard. This truck actually hauled grapes for Gallo up until the 70s. I'm still looking for it, but apparently this was in an advertisement for Gallo in the 1970s.
Guys here today. Now, I got a guy on my left that's a veteran. I got a guy over here that's a rookie guy to our car show. Tank, how you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. Mike Hennessy. Hey, I asked you a question earlier, and I almost was kind of laughing because you're one of the youngest car collectors here, and you have kind of one of the nicest cars here. And, the car guys are, the age group that a lot of us are in. If you know what I mean, over 45, and you're around 25.
Yes.
Now, what made you pick a Bentley Continental?
It was my dream car. I love the Bentleys. I love the coupe. I love the way the car made. And I just always tell myself, if I have an opportunity to get this car, I will get it.
Now, if you got a nice luxury car, then you got this guy as a friend. What the hell's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? I mean, you're supposed to have good taste. You got a nice car, and you got
man, no, man. I got good taste. I'm just an old school kind of guy, that's all.
Reason why I'm hacking on his car was on our show last year. We did a great special on it. I don't know if you saw it. It turned out really neat. You got one of the nicest Chevy Impalas I've ever seen.
Thank you, sir.
Good. What'd you do about all the rust in the car?
Had the rust cut out and put back in shape, took all the rust out.
After the tree hit it and everything, it's all okay.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's all good.
cover so many cool cars here today, and yours happens to be one of my top 10 favorites. Mike Hennessy.
Mike, how you doing? John.
Hey, John, doing real good. Now, I've known you've been coming to quite a few of these shows.
Yes.
And
I
you
have.
built this car yourself, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Ground up?
Ground up, yeah.
And
I've had this for 50 years.
50 years?
50 years, and I just 10 years ago started putting it together.
And you told me you were only 38 years old. How could that work?
Oh, that's right. I ain't taking my glasses off.
Now, you come down, you bring this car here, you drive it to the events and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the car itself. What made you keep this car for 50 years?
I always liked these since I was a little kid. I used to see these cars on TV back in years ago. And
tell everybody the year of the car.
37 Ford.
37 Ford, and actually 37, the interesting thing about 37, there's only 37 parts on this car. I mean, you can't interchange any years on them. They're kind of really the way they are. Front ends are the only way they are.
That's it, yeah. I mean, but it's been apart. It's been all in pieces. And my kids and my grandkids have played in this car, you know, cops and robbers and all that stuff inside this car running around. And then finally it got to a point where I got to do something with it. I'm getting pretty old, get it done. So I built it 10 years ago now.
What I liked about this car here, you know, you get, you know, these fender cars, they're just really, the look of them is just phenomenal. But he made the car safe. Like he said, he has kids, grandkids, and he takes them out, he goes ahead and uses the car. But, you know, there's no rules to cars except for safety. But taste sometimes, when a guy hits it on the head, he hit it on the head. The color is spectacular. Hopefully our new digital camera here can go ahead and get the colors right. But look at the pinstriping worked on the car. This isn't tape. This is done by hand. And the colors, they just kind of blend in. It doesn't just come out you and bite you like a set of flames do, but that's going for a different type of look. I think this is done very, very tasteful. The light metallic color in it, it's just absolutely fascinating. But he put air conditioning in here. You can tell he did the March system for the pulleys. Under the hood is great, and it's just one of those cars that said, I'd like to get in that car and I could take it for a drive. The interior in the car, when you get a shot of that, the interior is just looks comfortable, usable, and functionability. And a lot of guys build these cars, they kind of go to a different area. He built this car here to drive and to enjoy. You're going to check that out. I think you're going to be pretty impressed with this car.
You don't know what I got, what I got. You don't know what I got.
What a show. We covered this thing here from soup to nuts, front and back. There's a lot of cars, and I mean a lot of cars you guys got to see on the show. And we cover a little bit of everything. Seeing some younger people going to get involved, see some of the Bentley stuff, seeing the street rod stuff, and of course we see some of our favorites. We got that Chevy Impala. It's probably one of my favorite cars we have on the show now and then. And I'm going to tell you guys, the car world's a great world. So do two things. Stick around, and I'll see you guys next week.
She folding and relieved, and she's stroking forward. She'll do 140 in the topping floor. She's my little new scoop. You don't know what I got. Little scoop, you don't know what I got. She's got a competition clutch with a 4 on the floor, and she pulls like a kitten till the lake pipes roar. And if that ain't enough to make you flip your lid, there's one more thing.